Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Walsh and I will be presenting my defense of the thesis proposal for the effects of lead ammunition poisoning on scavenging golden eagles and turkey vultures across 3 policy and program settings: total lead ammunition bans, hunter education and outreach, and combination settings. Basically, all of our lead ammunition policies and programs are in place to mitigate the impacts of lead ammunition poisoning in wildlife. This study will seek to identify if one of these policy or program settings are more effective than the others in reducing the amount of lead ingestion that occurs in scavengers. Specifically, it will be looking at which setting Cathartus aura, turkey vultures, and Aquila crustados, golden eagles, are least impacted in. Poisoning from lead ingestion occurs when scavengers feed on carcasses, gut piles, and offal that are contaminated with lead fragments left behind by hunters. This is a continuing threat to scavengers. By looking at policies and programs to identify which frameworks are best at mitigating these events, we can help policymakers and wildlife managers create strong programs and policies in the future. Golden eagles and turkey vultures are great surrogates for the study because they occur broadly year-round in areas identified for each of the policy settings, and they are both species that are frequently impacted by lead poisoning due to their scavenging natures. Cathartus aura is an obligate scavenger. They rely solely on previously dead remains. And golden eagles are opportunistic predators. They eat mostly small game, but also scavenge whenever the opportunity presents itself. Lead ammunition policies and programs are essential for mitigating harmful impacts to scavenging wildlife. Examining the effects of lead ammunition poisoning in 2 prominent scavenging species within varying policy settings will allow for understanding which of these settings are most effective and able to be widely replicated. Because of the quantitative nature of the study, a testable hypothesis is necessary. That being, combination lead policy and hunter education and outreach programming is the most effective at mitigating exposure to lead ammunition for avian scavengers Aquila crustados and Cathartus aura. Blood sample data from necropsies will be obtained from the USFWS and state agencies in each of the 3 policy settings. Blood sample data will also be requested from wildlife rehabilitation centers located near selected sites. Peer-reviewed journal articles will be accessed through the ProQuest Biological Sciences Library, through the Richard G. Trefry Library, the Richard G. Trefry Library, and the USFWS Library. Management plans and laws will also be reviewed and utilized as applicable to this study. 3 states have been identified as fitting the specified policy settings as well as having resident populations of both study species. California has a total lead ban that went into effect in 2019. Arizona has specified units where lead is banned as well as hunter education and outreach. And Montana has no policy settings but does have hunter education programs for lead. If one of these states does not have the necessary data, others have been identified based on their specific policy and program settings to substitute. Site selection will be of hunting locations within each policy setting. Data obtained from necropsies will have a 25-mile radius from selected sites, and bird rehab data will come from rehabs within 30 miles of the selected sites. The blood test will be conducted with a limit to seek out chronic clinical poisoning events and discard any that are bioaccumulation events. Comparisons will be run on data from prior to implementation of policies or programs in each of the settings against data from after the programs or policies went into effect. This will be done using a statistical analysis test, repeated measures ANOVA and R. This test is used to analyze data where same subjects are measured more than once or where correlated samples can be measured to detect overall differences between related means. This will be done using a two-way repeated measures ANOVA. Research into lead ammunition-related issues really kicked off in the 1970s for a couple of reasons. One was the near extinction and recovery efforts of the California condor, and the other was waterfowl mortalities from lead ingestion in wetlands. Lead ammunition was one of the many contributing factors in the decline of the condors, and during the early years of their recovery, condors that were bred in captivity and released were often found sick or dead from lead ingestion. Effects of lead ingestion vary based on dose. Sublethal chronic effects from long-term exposure cause a host of health issues, like dysfunction of nervous and immune systems, reproductive failures, reduced fitness, increased susceptibility to disease, increased susceptibility to predation, and more. Bioaccumulation occurs in the bone of the animal, and it lasts the lifetime of the animal, but soft tissue half-life is roughly a few months. Severe clinical poisoning from a lethal dose results in organ failure and death. The studies into the impacts of lead ammunition poisoning on California condors ultimately led to a consensus statement signed by experts in the field that helped pass the lead ammunition ban in California. There are also federal bans on using lead shot in wetlands and for waterfowl hunting, and studies have shown a positive impact from these policies on waterfowl. There was also a study done specifically looking at the impact of the lead ban in California on golden eagles and turkey vultures. It found that the ban had a positive impact in reducing poisoning events. Other areas of study are various. One that is particularly interesting is the study that shows how lead fragments on impact and contaminates the meat of the hunted animal. A study also documents how much lead humans typically consume by using lead ammunition. Other areas are lead poisoning of critically endangered species, apex species used as biomonitoring agents of lead exposure, and more. Because lead ammunition programs and policies are still relatively new in the U.S., there have been a limited number of policy-specific studies done. Most of the studies conducted have covered lead effects from ammunition more broadly or specific to species without examining the policy aspect as well. This study will help to continue building this body of literature on policy-specific studies surrounding the topic of lead ammunition use. And it will help to identify better frameworks for mitigation for policymakers and wildlife managers to utilize. Thank you so much for your time, and for more information, please refer to these resources, and have a fantastic day.